Okay. Yeah. Looks like it's rolling. Thank goodness for the new SD card that it has been working out pretty good. Thanks to Crazy Scotsman. I do appreciate that. And oh man, if that doesn't heat you up and cool you down at the same time. But no, thank you. And also, the camera, obviously, Crazy Scotsman sent us that. So we've been using it, getting more used to it and understanding how, I guess you could say, the focus and all that works. But it's a good little camera. It works out pretty good. So, been so thank you, Scotsman, of course, and he's always been helpful to everybody. He's always helping me out too, and everything like that. So, and also don't forget his channel, The Weasel, because he will be posting stuff there as well. We got a lot of really cool other channels out there and what have you that really do really awesome videos that hopefully don't get lost in the time because even for me, like I said, I think we're talking about it in July coming up. We've got 11 years doing this, and even since my whole trek of doing this over a decade, there's been a lot of really small, really cool channels that have gone to the wayside. They're gone. They're no longer around, and that's too bad because they're really cool folks that had their channels. Um, I was just really lucky to, I guess, hold up and still be relevant in the game after 10 years. And even though we're never, we're not any kind of big channels, but very, very fortunate and blessed to have over 70,000 subscribers. Gosh, I never would have thought anything remotely like that would have happened when we first posted our first videos. And really, so much of this started off as kind of a joke, kind of a parody in a sense, and look where it led to. Sky's the limit, right? You never know where it can go. All right, so we're going to go ahead and read your comments, and we'll roll through those. If your comment wasn't read, I keep forgetting to do that. If your comment wasn't read, it could be you've commented after a production of a show, or it got pulled for some reason, or it just didn't show up. It has happened. I've had other subscribers say that, hey, we didn't, it wasn't there. We commented. I don't know why. So I don't know either. It's weird. And then also wanted to add, I guess, some people that may click on this and not know what they've clicked on or what video they're watching or whatnot. This is the radio show. We do it every Saturday. It's, if you don't like rambling and kind of, I guess some people consider it nonsense or whatnot. Yeah, that's what we do here. So there are plenty other channels out there to talk about tactical weapons and the latest and greatest and go into all that depth. We are not that channel. All right. Cranky Gun Review says Bullet is one of the best movies ever and love his gun. Yeah, I wish they showed more of it, but they don't. I don't know if you can hear all that background noise out there. It's been so random out here where I'm at. They've been doing like road refinishing, and it has been absolute randomness. And right now, I don't know what they're doing out there. They got something going on. So again, so okay. This one here is from Crazy Scotsman. Great looking grips, no doubt, on the solid fitment, and that snap was music to my ears, or music to the ears. Yes, Deer Hollow grips are just, God, man. I when you get quality like that, it's hard to deny. Just hard to ignore having a set. To me, if he's got grips that potentially fit your stuff, you're gonna probably want a set if you like the old school things. Remember, things like him and what he's doing, they ain't gonna last forever. I kind of want to put this out there. There's talks like I've heard like a lot of the old timers I look up to. They talk about people that were making grips of their time and now how they're impossible to find. Well, in a sense, you can look at it. This is our time. And this guy's making grips that all these years later, when it gets to that point, I probably will be talking about. hey, remember that Deer Hollow guy? So, yeah, also just to kind of throw that out there again, a lot of people I know, they always say he's out of stock. He is out of stock a lot because he's a one-man operation. He makes very small batches. When his stuff comes available, it's gone. Poof. It's so best way, sign up on the email list. That way he knows also that does two things. He knows what people want, so he knows kind of what to make next, and you'll get notified that, hey, they're back in stock. When you get that notification in your email, don't waste time. Go in there and get them. I still am waiting on a set of the service grips for the Python because we'll talk about that a little bit. I think I'm really interested in probably picking up one of the new snubby Pythons in blued for myself. I'm not sure yet if I want to spend the money. We'll see. All right, I'm glad. I'm glad you're getting lots of quality time with your mother. Keep up the good work, brother. I appreciate that. Yes, quality time with mom is very important. Her birthday's actually coming up in September, so I'm already putting together a little care package for her. So I'll send that out to her, and that's no big deal. But just trying to take care of her and kind of flip that coin a little bit because all through my teenage years and stuff, and my whole life she's been taking care of me. So now it's time to return the favor, if you will. Kyle says this one here. He says those grips look really nice. They do. They really set that thing apart. That thing is done. It really did wonders for that pistol. It stays tucked away a lot. I should take it out and shoot some rounds through it. All right, and this one here is from Desmond Garcia. It says Batjack, a legend. Thank you, man. I guess a legend on this channel, maybe. I don't know. But I appreciate that. Thank you. Christopher McCormick. Love your videos. Been watching for years. That's a great gun. Even better with those grips. Thank you, Christopher. Appreciate all the years of support and watching this stuff. Do appreciate that. This one here is from Richard. Alongside the Walther PPK and PPK-S, the Colt Diamondback 2.5 were the prestige EDC guns among sophisticated licensed pistol packers and knowledgeable cops in the 80s and the 90s. 4-inch Diamondbacks were sometimes seen in the holsters of ununiformed or uniformed female officers in smaller departments. That's pretty cool. All right. Lead 8541. I saw some of your cool videos with that new Traeger, I think it is, you got there, Lead, and kind of running through some stuff. I saw you do the pork butt video and all that. By the way, people, Lead has an awesome channel over there, barbecuing stuff, and you never know what old Lead's up to. Great channel. Another great guy out there. I heard that handle snapped together all the way here in Ohio. Great video. Have a great rest of your weekend. Let out there. All right. This one's from a man, Joe P. Always Joe P. Swig of coffee for Joe. Just watched Bullet again last week, although I have to admit, I rewatched the movie just as much for the cars and the chase as for the guns. Oh yeah, and Steve McQueen is pretty good too. Yeah. You know what? Oddly enough, what some of my favorite McQueen movies are? Obviously, I love The Getaway. But my favorite really is The Cincinnati Kid. I like that movie a lot. Especially with it. It's like one of the later roles of Edward G. That is a good movie. I like that movie a lot. I don't know, something about it. I just, I like that gambling and a card and they pushing, all the chips forward in a sense. Of course, they're just playing with cash. Bohemian Hunting Club says those grips give it an awesome look. Definitely some really good work. Yeah, definitely. If you have not checked out the close-up of the Diamondback grips, it's on the channel. Check it out. Just showcasing how good that stuff looks. Lately, honestly, I've been buying up a lot of his stuff because, again, I'm kind of a collector of that stuff, and it's a way for me to buy stuff for myself and keep I always say that, it's important to keep yourself, keep that something out there that keeps you going, and it makes you happy. And right now, that's what it's something I can afford to do here and there, and keep it going. And plus, they're really cool. So, and I enjoy showing them on the channel. They're really awesome. All right, here we go. Hello, this one's from Mike. Hello, JW. It is 9:06 in the a.m. Last month, I bought a brand new Lipsy Smith & Wesson mountain gun. Oh, wow. I was actually wondering if anybody had got one of those. I did see them. I brought it home and was oiling it. The action stopped working properly. What? Oh, my goodness. Wow, what a bummer. You kidding? The hammer would not fall in double or single action. The dealer sent it back to Smith. No word back yet. I'll let you know how we got more here. Smith's customer service works out. My hope is that they have a great customer service, not only for me, but for Smith & Wesson as well. The Diamondback and grips are awesome. Best wishes from Montana. That's from Mike. Excuse me. Oh, man. Dude, that's horrible. I actually was seeing those. When I heard about those, I was really tempted on getting one myself. Too bad I don't have an exorbitant amount of disposable finances. Man, that sucks to hear that. I hope it's something just sticky, and not, but I don't know, man. That's horrible to hear. I heard that too. Like, some people with the pythons, the new pythons. It's like it just doesn't. It's not a discriminative thing where you get bugs in the road when you're making products. It's not, you don't have, it's not like you have like somebody, it's not like, like Deer Hollow, he's never going to sell you something that's got cracks, flaws, or whatever. The guy's he's so discriminative when he looks at his stuff before he sells it to you. Unfortunately, we got big production stuff, and stuff is just moving through. I mean, it's just going to happen. Knock on wood, I've been, very fortunate with most of my, stuff that I've handled, and like my buddy's Python, pretty top shape, nothing going on there. But man, I tell you that sucks, especially when you spend that kind of money on stuff. And these things aren't cheap. All right, keep us posted there. Keep us posted there, Mike. Let us know what's going on there. All right, Steve, my friend, you have so many different types. You have so many different types weapons on weapons. Wow, have you ever been in this? You've been in the service? No, I've not. I was gonna go into law enforcement before I got into fell into the firearms business. Somebody that spent, I don't know, whatever, 14, 15 years doing the gun stuff. I had access to a lot of stuff. I had a lot of friends that loaned me stuff for video's sake. That's the one thing throughout the channel's history. Yeah, that stuff wasn't all mine. A lot of it I just borrowed from people or had it in shops and available to have access to it in shops. I've had friends that had shops. I would go, hey, can I come over before you open, set up a backdrop, set up a camera, and film some of your stuff just to have content for my channel? Sure, yeah, go ahead. So that was another way I did things too. So back when I was really actively looking for stuff to review, or not necessarily review, I never really liked calling it that because I don't think I ever was a reviewer. I just more or less was wanting to show off cool old stuff. Yeah, so that was kind of my deal. But anyway, so no, yeah, never been in service. All right. Slim Fire, my man Slim. Morning, JW. Hope you're having a good weekend. The new grips just look awesome on that revolver and put a smile on your face. It did. That was a long time coming, Slim. I've been wanting to do that with that revolver for quite some time. I've had it for a long time. I've had it in the safe. I never was happy with the OG grips on it. They were too worn out, too just not very happy with the original grips. And you know what? Thanks to people like Deer Hollow that are making reproductions 100 times better than they ever could be, than the originals could be, and pretty much compared prices to if you're trying to source out originals that are kind of going to be worn and beat up a little bit. his are very affordable in comparison to that. All right, so thanks for the video and the prayers, Slim. Yes, and much prayers, and hopefully, Slim, your wife is doing okay. Hate hearing things like that, so much prayers to you and your family there. All right, DB, top of the morning, and top of the morning to you, DB. Always. Thank you for being here all the time. You're always here on the Saturday mornings. I do appreciate it, like many of you, and love enjoying and hearing your comments, because you and your comments is what make the show. All right, Jeffrey Richardson's good morning. A sip of coffee. Yes, sip of coffee, Jeffrey. Revolver TV. Yeah, I get when you said that you sold that Highway Patrolman Model 28. I sold off so many wheel guns. It's not even funny. Same. I've sold off a ton of stuff, man. I only keep very little these days. Stuff that kind of I like taking to the range, or something that is deeply connected to a film for me. You never know what goes on the chopping block. Every now and then, I would just grab a couple things, take it down to a friend of mine's shop, and sell them off to him and get a little bit extra money for doing some stuff. All right, just imagine how many we would have if they were in front of us all at the same time. That would be so many. Yeah, I would have. God, as many as I've had and gotten rid of over the years. Yeah, that would be crazy to think about that. But yeah, it's mainly I sold a lot of things like the Highway Patrolman. I enjoyed it for a while, but just kind of you gotta. Yeah, if I'm not using it or it's not doing anything for me at the moment, and it's been a while, I usually get rid of it. Jeffrey Richardson again here. The John Wayne movie was shot in Grants Pass, Oregon's Hell's Canyon. Great jet boat dinner trip there. It is great fun. Oh, that's awesome. I might have to do that. I might have to take my mom and do that at some point. All right. So thank you. That's cool. Andrea Hankins. Andrea Hankins. Okay. I hope I'm saying that right. I apologize if I'm not. How do I get in touch? How do I get in touch with you? I need 2 sets of aged ivory grips. 1 set for a Colt New Service 45 and a set for a Colt Official Police. Please respond. I don't know how. I have not made grips for those. I haven't made grips in a long time, to be honest with you. The grip making thing was, and here's another comment here by Kalishni. I'm sorry if I'm not pronouncing that right. They want to obtain a set of Colt Repro, the Colt wood grips. I man, I tell you, it is so flattering and it's so awesome that so many people are interested in the grips I made. I made them really honestly in the past just for myself and seeing what could happen, what I could do. So in the end, when I did actually I had help when I sold them at one time. A good friend of mine helped me and put him on his eBay account and was handling all of that, the eBay, the listing, the shipping, the pictures, all that. He really went out of his way big time to help me out with that. And because I have no idea how to do any of that stuff. As far as the new service and all that, I don't know. I have no idea how to do the grips for those. I don't know what they look like. So unfortunately, I don't have anything for those. There are other places. I know what you mean by looking for the aged old ivory grips. I always say, who's a good candidate for a good option for that stuff is Buffalo Brothers. I still use them for stuff because Buffalo Brothers provide a lot of single action grips and stuff like that that they make, and they're a good option for that. You can check them out. Eagle Grips and Tombstone Grips are other companies that I noticed that were doing the aged yellow grips. So you can check them out. I'm sorry, I'm not trying to for me, for me, if I had the ability to do it, to get my grips out in the hands of people, it would never be for the money. It would be for the sake of like, wow, you like my stuff that much that you want a set. I'd be more than happy to put a set in your hands. I just don't have the time, the resources, or the knowledge on how to set up any kind of shipping deal or payment deal, or because in the end, I'm sorry, I mean, the money also does boil down to, I have to charge something because I would have to, there's no way to keep it going. But all my grip stuff, all my grip making, a lot of the tools and stuff that I had, I just don't have the stuff around anymore. So I had some extras here and there laying around that, I've ran into people, that recognize me out there, and they've asked me, and they bought some, and I've handed them to them in person, that kind of deal. But yeah. Anyway, I'm sorry, dude. I don't have anything for the new service or any of those. I don't know what they look like, so I'm not sure. Um, I tinkered around once with the Colt. The problem with a lot of those, and actually that's what Deer Hollow was saying, the problem with the Colt service frames and stuff in those grips, the frames vary in sizes so much that you never know when you put the grip on it if it's going to fit or not. That's why his grips for the service models are oversized slightly, and it does require fitting. I did run into that with my when I was selling the single action grips for my friend. Some people didn't understand that they were massively oversized and you had to fit them. And then dealing with the return thing and all that, it was kind of a pain. So, but anyhow, check out, like I said, Buffalo Brothers offers different levels of aged ivory. I know that for sure because I've actually been in contact with them. Really good people. They're out of Mesa, Arizona, and never ordered anything from Tombstone or Eagle Grips. I've never ordered anything, but I've seen the lists on their products on their page. They look like good stuff. Ivory style grips. And then also, I think that it's River Junction. I think is the other company, River Junction or something like that. If you look up aged yellow or ivory grips, a lot of these places come up. I'm not like again. I feel like I'm trying to like blow you off, and I'm not. Believe me, I'm not. I'm just trying to give you options out there that I've gone through and searched through, which actually segues into this. I don't know how many people are checking out my posts. I do the posts on the channel there. Check them out. I just recently talked about doing these. These are from Cimarron. These are the Rooster Shooter grips off the Cimarron. They were like kind of rubber ducky yellow grips, and I did some coating with them with shellac, just to kind of give it a little bit of a different look and a little bit of depth and aging and dirty it up a little bit, and that's how I did that. So there's other options, and I talked about some of the stories of me staining grips on that briefly in the write-up. If you guys enjoy those write-ups that I do on the posts, let me know. I do appreciate that. But if you want to hear some more stories about me, some of the disastrous things about making grips, let me know, and we'll share that with you maybe on the next radio, but let me know in the comments. So anyway, enjoy your weekend. Thanks for watching.